Greeting my fellow lovers of tunes and welcome back for the very first time to an artist called John Rowles. Here on the channel where we enjoy the music, of course. Now I'm very excited for today's video, not only because it's a special request by a very first requestee, giver, I don't know what the right word is, namely Avis Rees. Thank you very much, Avis, for this incredible request and a generous donation. I'm very excited to hear this one, and I'll tell you why. The song is called The Lord's Prayer. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I'll obviously know if the song starts playing and everything like that, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is the song that more or most people probably know as Our Father, you know, the prayer, Our Heavenly Father, hallowed be thy name, that one. But also, this is going to be a very nostalgic experience for me because I'll tell you, as I was growing up, whether it was in church or in school, we used to have these assemblies at school or Sundays in church. You will always have the what do you call it, the organ playing and people singing along. And this is one of those that was almost always played. I believe this was in primary school. This was every Monday or Friday at assembly. We used to open up it with this, all the children singing together. In church, we heard it many a times. But obviously, I know it more accurately. I know the English version as well, but I know it in my native tongue, which is Afrikaans, which is the Onze Vader. And after the song, I'll see if I can read you guys the translation of Afrikaans as well, because it's very, very beautiful either way. But I'm very excited to hear this. Also, John Rowles sounds so familiar to me. Like, maybe if I hear the voice, I will know a little bit better, but I'm not going to say I've never heard of him before, because maybe I have. Name's very familiar, but I cannot place any name to a song or anything like that. So let's just dive right into this one, and then we will discuss it afterwards, as always.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen.
That was absolutely beautifully performed. Oh my goodness. I was teleported right back to my childhood when I was sitting on the floor Monday assembly and we started singing this together, all the children voices. I really was just instantly teleported back to that point. But regardless, this performance was incredible and probably one of the best vocal performances of the song that I've heard in quite a while. And I do recognize John Rawls as well now. Like something about his voice immediately sparked like all the memories back into it. He has such a recognizable tone to his voice and style of singing that I'm actually surprised I didn't recognize the name. But it's like with like movies and stuff, like sometimes you don't remember the name or even actors or people that you maybe know, you don't really recognize the name until you hear them speak or see them again or see what it is all about. And this was one of those cases to me as well. Now, I believe John Rawls, and I might be wrong on this because this is actually before my time, like when he was really well known. I believe he was a little bit more familiar in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, or I don't know, it's like around that time. But the reason why I know this is, or know this person is, I remember, and I might be mistaken on this, but I believe my grandfather had an LP record of John Rawls. And the songs that I clearly remember of John Rawls, and I don't know if this was on the LP that I listened to it or just music that I heard around the house as a child or maybe visiting grandparents or something along those lines. But if I only had time, or if only I had time, something along the lines like that. And there was one song that was very special or beautiful. Um, I believe it was called Cheryl Moana Marie or Mona. Was it Mona or Moana? I believe it was Moana, like like the Disney movie. I might be wrong on that. And that song, I believe I might be wrong on this. Again, I do apologize if I'm wrong about this, but I believe that song was about one of his siblings, and I want to say sister. I think he wrote it about his sister, but regardless, there's so many iconic songs that John Rawls has done, and I know quite a few of them. Maybe not by title, but like I immediately recognized his voice as he was singing this, and I had no idea that he actually did this performance. Or maybe I even heard this performance as a child and I forgot about it. But how amazing is it to hear this performance and this amazing artist like sing once again? Now, I believe John is still alive. I don't remember or recall that he has passed away. And if he is still alive, I believe he's close to his 80s, like high 70s, 80s, somewhere there around. Regardless, back to the performance of the song, I think it was absolutely phenomenal. It's such a recognizable prayer. I believe that most people would know it by now, and a lot of people would know it by heart. It's one of those things that just makes you feel at home. It's so recognizable. It's so beautifully constructed as well, like the whole package in one, everything that you would want from a prayer and everything that you could want and ask for in a prayer is all like compacted into this beautiful prayer, and something that you can say to yourself in a few mere seconds if you know it is so beautifully used in a 3 minute song. And he really made a beautiful performance out of this. I remember when I was younger, there were some of these songs that were so long and it just felt like it went on forever that I was like, just why don't they just speak normally? Now that I'm older, you sort of start appreciating the music more and see the vision or the artistic decision behind doing something like this. It gives it a bit more impact, and it gives you a little bit more time to reflect on the lyrics and exactly what is said in that prayer. And you can sort of reflect as it is going. And the nostalgia continues in the video as well with all these slideshow pictures going through that. I remember that's also something that we used to watch as well in later years in church, not the early years, but especially in school with the projector, with these image slideshows or like the lyrics being shown so that everyone can sing along and stuff like that. It's just a nice trip down memory lane and such a beautiful prayer as well. Absolutely phenomenal. Now, I wanted to share with you guys. Told you in the beginning that I know this song mostly, or not the song, the prayer mostly in my native tongue. Although obviously we know the one in English as well. But I want to read it to you in Afrikaans, and you can actually follow along in English as well. It's very, if you know the languages, it's very similar, but you can sort of like make out exactly which point it is which the translations are so like similar in the sense. I don't know. I'm gonna read it and then you guys decide for yourself. It goes like this: Onse Vader wat in die hemel is, laat U naam geheilig word. Laat U koninkryk kom. Laat U wil geskied, soos in die hemel, so ook op die aarde. Gee ons vandag ons daaglikse brood en vergewe ons oortredinge, soos ons ook die vergewe wat teen ons oortree. En laat ons nie in die versoeking kom nie, maar verlos ons van die bose. Want aan U behoort die koninkryk en die krag en die heerlikheid tot in ewigheid. Amen. Now, there's quite a few different translations or versions of this where words are in plural form and not in singular form, or the way that is said is different, but that's sort of the gist of it. That's very beautiful. It's so interesting always to see this. I've seen this prayer in other languages as well, and it's so amazing how you can follow along and know exactly which part is which. Just by knowing it by heart by now, you can sort of translate it for yourself in your head. And that's what happened in this song as well. Like, as he was singing and I was singing along in my head, you can sort of automatically translate it, and it makes it feel more personal in that sense. But in any case, regardless of that, beautiful performance. John Rowles, amazing voice, so iconic, so beautiful as well, and really took me down memory lane as well. So thank you once again to Avis for this beautiful request. It was absolutely amazing to hear this. It's been quite a while since I heard it, to be honest. So this was absolutely phenomenal. But also I would love to hear from you guys. What did you think about this? And also if there's other versions of this prayer in different languages, or maybe different versions that you know, please let me know down below. I would love to go and check them out as well. That's the fun thing about music. There's so many different versions and different languages and all these things, but at the end of the day, it's still about the same thing, you know, if that makes any sense, which is so fun and so relatable, and you can join in. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. But in any case, I'm gonna leave this video here. Look forward to hearing from you guys. And also, John Rowles, yeah, I did not expect to hear that name today again and hear his voice again. I'm going to go and listen to some of his music again and go back down memory lane once again and that as well. But I'll leave this one here. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Staying safe and healthy out there. Remember to check up on one another. And then I'll see you very soon in the next video. But until then, remember, music is medicine.